Hey guys, welcome back to a new video of Hobbiton Zoo. It's been, I don't know, 2-3 weeks since I last was in here, where I did the Wikz habitat, and did that building, as I don't know yet what's gonna be exactly, but I have some ideas with it so far. But today, guys, we are making the Red Panda Habitat, which I finally got some ideas and a little bit inspiration for to do. So that is basically what you are gonna see me do in today's video. Here in the back you'll see me take an old Hobbit house I did and kind of redoing it a little bit, because I want this to be a part of the Red Panda Habitat, but not a Hobbit house exactly, but more of a how do you say, a window, like a viewing gallery sort of thing, where you can look through it and look at the pandas. So what I'm doing here is that I'm basically trying to make this a little bit larger, so it has like this, I think it's the 9 centimeter path, what is called, here, as you can see, where I'm trying to like make it a little bit of an arch entrance, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of interior work and then have this sort of a viewing gallery from the inside looking out to the pandas, where I'm also making it go around, where you can just look at them from the outside perspective as well. So there's not so many things I'm doing here today. One thing I do is that I'm playing around a little bit with the climbable objects. I don't go crazy with it, because I felt like it wasn't really needed. In this particular habitat, I felt like it was more the smaller thing that fitted well here, and we're all trying to keep it all small here, since it is Hobbiton Zoo, and the animals we have here is supposed to be some of the smaller animals there are in this game. So next time, I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna add. Definitely gonna try filling up a little bit more of the gaps I have around too, and even put in maybe some exhibits inside of the big building I did last time, which I haven't found a name for yet either. There were a lot of people, or a few people, that mentioned some stuff about the Rivendell section, and I might go in and try to do that on the right side. When you come in from the entrance, you have like the Shire on the left, and then maybe if we go right, we can have some sort of a Rivendell inspired area, because I feel like the Elvish theme is something that is doable to do in this game. So I might go that way, try to do something with that. We'll see how it goes. If it turns to a shit show, then obviously I will not show it, and we will obviously get something else to do. But I'm quite sure that we can manage to do something. And I didn't really do a lot of Elvish stuff either in Planet Coaster, which I have seen so much gorgeous stuff in. Which might be some inspiration I'll take from that point, and try to do that in Planet Zoo. I mean, but anyways. As you see here, what I'm doing is that I'm trying to make it above the ground as usual. So I have a path going under, and then it feels like you go inside of something here. And it was always a struggle to do all this stuff here with the pathing, because if you have path, the terrain doesn't allow you to go like a certain limit, or it goes a certain limit to it. So it was kind of like deleting the path, do some terrain, add path, delete, so on and so on, as you can see here. Of course, it doesn't take as long as you can see here, because it's like 12 times sped up here. So, but the interior I'm doing inside of it too is kind of like just some normal interior stuff. I'm not really making it super like a home, like I did on the Pangolin habitat, where it's more like a circle, and then you have like these sort of nice things going all the way around it. Here is just more of like what I said, the viewing galleries perspective here, where you go inside and you just check it out and see how things looks inside here. It wasn't actually some sort of reason why I wanted to go this way. It was just more of a feeling that this would look kind of cool to have some sort of the red pandas next to the doll sheep, and then the mill I made, because I feel like these two things kind of work together. And then as soon as we have the red pandas done here, I feel like we might be able to add 1 or 2 more small animals, and then we can say that the Shire, kind of the Hobbiton vibe section, is kind of done, and we can try to like enclosure it in and fill up the gaps we have all the way around the zoo here. Because I feel like now that the Hobbiton, like the Shire vibe, is kind of like starting to fade out a bit, and then maybe we can build a few more Hobbit houses, and I will eventually also add those to the workshop. But be sure that you guys you have to do the terrain and stuff yourself when I add them. But it should be pretty simple to do at that point. But as you can see here now I kind of like sort of have what I wanted to work with here, adding some beams to support the ceiling, and then also so we don't have all the dirt going inside of here, because I want it to be super clean in here. So doing some trim work, it's always good to do some trim work on the walls. It adds a little bit of a touch to it, and also a little bit of that realism. Here I'm doing some parts where I add some more rocks on the top here. I didn't want it to make this sort of section super lushy, because I do that in the habitat itself. So I felt like up here it could just be a lot of rocks and all that stuff. And it is really nice to work around with these rocks, because I've been working on Planet Coaster for quite a while, trying to finish off some stuff. And those rocks in there, it's just super boring to work with those rocks when you have all these in Planet Zoo. So I hope whenever we get Planet Coaster 2, that we will get a bunch of different rocks as well, or just variations than just 4 or 5 of a thing. So, but anyways, we are playing Planet Zoo now, right? So here I'm making the shelter for them. I didn't add the animals until I was quite like sure that they could walk around and stuff, and I also was trying to do so they didn't escape. And of course I forgot that we can just do so they are non-climbable. So I added that to the brick barrier, as you can see there is around. And then it kind of like just, it worked. They won't climb over that one, even though it's super short. They could literally just jump over it, but they don't do it, so luckily for us. Afterwards, I'm trying to add, you see, I'm adding this guy here. And I did add that at different other places too around the zoo. But for some weird reason, when I add that, the keepers couldn't reach whatever it is. So apparently I couldn't build something that goes inside of the habitat. It apparently blocks the way they walk in. So I had a little issue where none of my animals, where I added this little shed opening here, couldn't get food. So I ended up deleting all those again. So if you'll see it disappear at some point, then you know the reason why. But I might do some other stuff where it looks more natural for the keepers to go inside to the habitat instead of just an iron or a wood gate, you know. So that'll definitely be something I will add later on in here. I just need to figure out what works well, what can I use for a lot of the habitats. So yeah, the habitat is slowly getting there now, and then it's mainly just some interior work I need to do, and then I'm basically just adding up a few of those enrichments and some foliage. And yeah, I really like what the pandas here has, that they really just like, you know, a lot lushy environment. You can kind of like go crazy with the foliage here, even though I didn't do that as much because I feel like they needed a little bit more opening space, consider they're like below and people walk around them, so I didn't want to over lush it, if that even a word. So yeah, that's kind of like just what I did here. And then we're coming to the climbable objects, which I've never played with before, even in the beta or anything. I've kind of like kept away from all these climbable objects for some weird reason. I don't know why. Well, I've used them in buildings, but not really for the purpose of them. So that's what I'm doing here now, just adding a little bit of them. Nothing crazy, as I mentioned earlier. Just trying to see how things work here, and then later on maybe when we add maybe some monkeys or chimps or something, we can try to add a little bit more of a crazier climbable thing. Like I talked about those tree houses I wanted to do. Maybe we can add some of those in another section if the game allows it, because I'm already now having struggles with this particular zoo here. I don't know what it is. I get these sort of super crazy frame drops. Like they're super crazy, where the game just runs like ass, to be honest. And then I don't know what it is. It's very weird to me. But yeah, I might have to consider being a little bit more careful of what I use of pieces, and maybe not so many custom roofs and stuff, because I really want to finish off like at least left and right section of this park here, because now right now we only have the left side, which is basically the Shire or some part of the Shire. You know, it's nothing 100% recreated. Mainly, it's lots of ideas and inspiration from it. I'm trying to capture the environment, the atmosphere, because I'm such a huge sucker for that entire universe. I might also have gotten a few new subs, which comes from Rudy. So welcome to you guys if you are new here. He was so kind to give me a little shout out from his little Shire build, which you guys should definitely check if some of you haven't seen it. Super cool, and I got some ideas, and I also think that's why I got a little bit inspiration to do this sort of opening viewing gallery here to these Red Pandas here. So yeah, that was super cool to see some of that too, and get a little bit of ideas from that perspective too, because a lot of people can build the same, but they can build it in so many different ways, because people have all kinds of ways to tackle sort of styles, you know. So it's always nice to get some ideas from each other and get inspired from that. So super cool. But anyways, I'm slowly getting there now into the Red Panda Habitat. As you can see here, I added a bunch of stuff, just making it looking a little bit crazy, so the pandas definitely don't want to get bored in here. So that's kind of like just what I did. We're going inside here now. I'm not doing so much right now on this section here, but I will though. I will do a little bit more stuff inside. As you know, I also did that at the pangolins, as I mentioned, and the Green Tavern and all that kind of stuff. And I'm also probably gonna try build a little bit more blueprints. I don't know which kind yet, since I'm still kind of like in the fantasy groove. I don't know if it will be anything Lord of the Rings or anything related, but definitely some fantasy is sort of stuff. And then I also need to brainstorm sort of a new Planet Zoo project, would be kind of fun to start at some point too, because I don't get so many ideas in this game as I do with Planet Coaster, to be honest. I'm mainly playing this game for the building aspect of it, just to get it out there too, because I really love building, I love being creative, and this game gives me both. So yeah, that's mainly why I play this game. But it's definitely not giving me the same ideas as Planet Coaster does. But nevertheless, this is something I can build here way better in Planet Zoo than I can do in Planet Coaster for sure. And that's also why I wanted to take this challenge of building some sort of a Hobbiton inspired zoo that further on maybe gonna be a little bit more Lord of the Rings inspired style at the end. So, but anyways, you saw me add a little bit more stuff to the top here, and just adding some rocks, some trees, just to make it look super like more, you know, natural in that way, because I feel like that was it needed it there. And I'm also just gonna add a few trees on the top and do some, yeah, you know, kind of like enclosure it in, because I feel like that this part of the Red Pandas here should be the end section of sort of the Shire, the Hobbiton vibe. And then, because we have the building I made in the middle last time, before that, actually in the middle now, from the Oddwalks and the Red Pandas. And at that section behind it, I added a few staff buildings, because I had too little of them, and I will obviously also add a little bit more stuff to that too, so they get into the same theming as well. But right now it's just white boxes placed there, but I do try to avoid them as much as I can. I did terrain a little bit over them and stuff, so, but yeah. As you can see, getting here now, slowly getting there, and I'm kind of satisfied on how this entire build ended up looking. I think it's one of my best habitats so far in this. in this zoo here. I really also like my pangolin habitat, and if you haven't seen that, you guys should definitely go check that out. I think it's episode 3. Yeah, super cool. And I also finally got all my P files away, and it was a crazy mess in this zoo here. I have so many freaking animals, but everything should run should run okay, I guess. Because the only thing I have is that they don't fight the animals. So, and also I have unlimited power. That's basically the only things I play with. Other than that, everything else should run as they do in franchise mode and stuff. Besides, we also have unlimited money, which is kind of nice, you know. So, but inside here, the viewing thing here, we have. I'm using these sort of iron thing. I think they're from the New World theme, and they're kind of cool. I felt like they were making a nice kind of cool vibe in here. So I added those a little bit around, and then I'm kind of just adding a few panda stuff, trying to get a little bit of panda vibe in here. And then it's mainly just that you guys see me do. Adding a few lights too later on, and then I think that's pretty much it, guys. There's not really much else that's gonna happen here in the next few minutes besides what I said. So, and here I'm making a nice looking derby sign with the Red Pandas, or try to at least. Since I'm not the font guy or sign guy, I am just going the easy way as always. And since the Hobbiton Zoo sign is sort of the Planet Zoo font, I thought, you know what, we can just go with this all the way around the park. So I think we're there at the end now, guys, because you're gonna get a few cinematics here at the end, where I have a few of the interior and of the exterior, and then also some snow cinematics of the Red Pandas here, which is finally something I did. It was something of the first animals I actually wanted here, but ends up being some of the last animals I end up adding for this section here. Might go with some turtles at somewhere. That would be kind of cool to have some turtles walking around somewhere. Well, I don't know, but anyways, if you guys got suggestions and ideas, feedback, whatever you guys have, please let me know in the comments down below, guys, because they really help, and yeah, I will try to answer all of them as good as I can, as always. But at the end here, adding a little bit of clutter stuff inside here. I really hope we will get the barriers in this game as we have in Planet Coaster, so we can kind of like control the guest flow of where people need to go when we have these sort of big paths. That is something I'm really missing in this game. So yeah, detailing the front here a little bit more too, because I felt like it needed it. Because I didn't really like all the brown color, so I felt like a little bit more touch here and there would do the job. And I'm quite happy how this ended up looking as well. Using these new Arctic pieces here, which is really come a good thing here in Hobbiton. They're doing a lot of good jobs for me. A lot of good jobs. They're doing lots of good jobs here. No. They're really good to use for these sort of sections here. As you can see, I'm using the pillar 2 here to cover up this white beam here between the glass. And then I'm using the kind of like half circle bits there to kind of like closer it in. So yeah, guys, we are at the end now. And let me know, as I said, what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you have any ideas or whatsoever, guys, have a good day and stay awesome. And give the video a like if you think it deserves it. Take care, guys. Bye.